I don't like how people lack basic human empathy. I don't like how, when I was complaining about the whole thing that I went through for the last 6 months to some of my friends and like people that I trusted before, all they heard was, I'm single. Make a move on me. That's all, and it's not even just in that regard, like with people like pursuing other people. That's something that's consistent among men, women, and just everybody. People do that sometimes, and it frustrates the fuck out of me. And that's there's like no emotional awareness or intelligence, and that frustrates me. But that also applies to a lot of other things. That's very, very obvious in the political sphere. Whenever people talk about the environment, the economy, having basic human empathy for other people, that alone is a necessary thing. You need to be empathetic and you need to care for other people to thrive as a society. That should not be a foreign concept. It is not hard to lift each other up instead of being like, I don't care, it's not my problem. Why should I care? It's not my problem, it doesn't affect me. Because it should affect the people that you love, and it will affect the people that you love, because there has to be somebody in your life that will be affected by the things that are going to happen. And that applies to other things. People will do things without considering everybody else or just anybody else in their decisions. I'm gonna take a shower in the dorms. My hair falls out pretty frequently. I see that it's in the shower drain. I see that it's disgusting, and nobody else will want to touch my hair. So I'm gonna leave it there. What is your problem? It is so easy to make everybody else's life easier by doing something that'll take you 3 seconds. If you just approach things with an empathetic mindset, life will be easier for you and everybody around you. People don't understand that when you do good things for other people, they'll appreciate it and they won't think of you as a fucking asshole. And that alone has so much power. If you have to think about it in a selfish mindset, people will see you in a better light and people will be more prone to doing kind things for you since you did kind things for them. And it's just small things. Sometimes I'll see the people that live next to me, and I'll see them outside, and I smile at them, and I wave, and they always, every single time, they look at me like, why? Genuinely, why? And I walk into the bathroom, their conversations go silent, and then they look at me funny. I'm like, I don't want to feel like I'm intruding. I live here. I just don't understand how it is so hard for people to do little things to make people feel included, because ostracization makes you feel fucking horrible. And then saying that isn't enough because people are like, I don't care. Why should I care? Sucks for you, I guess. Sounds like your problem. And this isn't to say I'm some perfect, almighty, kind being, but it's like when you are consistently a bad person and a mean person, that's when I get frustrated because I'm like, fucking work with me, man. I'm lucky enough that I've found very close people in my life that are very empathetic towards me and very kind to me. But even with that, some of those people breached a lot of trust, and it's none of the people that I'm really, really close with. It's some of the people that I'm more acquainted with. I love you, Dylan. I love you, Chris. I love you, Eli. You guys are my day ones, my forevers. I love you guys so much. Some of the other people that I've met relatively recently and people that I trusted, I breached that completely. I was in a really rough time, and I'm sitting there explaining my situation, and he made a move on me. And I'm like, when I'm sitting here complaining about the shit that I just went through and the trauma that I just experienced in a relationship, why the fuck do you think it's a good idea to be like, okay, she's available now? Like, you don't know how much some of that shit that you do affects other people in a good or bad way. And another thing, that same person, when I was telling them about all the struggles that I was going through with school and just basic cleanliness in terms of like my room, I was having a really, really hard time, and I didn't understand why. And I had mentioned that my mom had ADHD and how I'd like to get tested for it. By the way, I ended up fucking having it, shocker. But during this, he's shutting me down the entire time. He's telling me that everybody deals with something and that I just need to lock in. And I don't get it. And I'm not speaking out of low moments or passersby or small things like that. I'm talking about consistent, repeated behaviors from people that I know or people that I've seen or people that I've had multiple engagements with who have expressed just a lack of awareness, empathy, and concern. And I feel like it is so hard to do that. It is so hard to be mean. I don't understand why people do it. Genuinely. school was so hard for me growing up because of people like that. And school is still hard for me to this day because of people like that. They never go away. And I just wonder how they get so far in life and so far ahead in life. I see people like that doing better than me sometimes. And I just don't get it. And I feel like as a society, we are becoming so much more isolated. So that when it got to points where I was eating alone during lunch, nobody would come up to me. Nobody would say hi. In classes, whenever there was group projects, and people knew that I was the one that was working alone every single time, nobody came up to me. I'm not gonna put the burden of my loneliness onto others. This is more just a critique on society, because I will see comments of people being like, I saw somebody eat alone today, I wish I could have gone up to her. You can, and those people are waiting for you to do it. Just do it. It is so much harder, and you will feel so much worse if you don't. If you sit there and you think about the possibilities and the things that could have happened if you just did something nice. That's all. Be an empathetic person. Grow a fucking heart.